Hey y'all, I'm about to show you a Southern classic. Of course, it's a Southern classic. I'm going to show you how to make butter beans, also known as lima beans. And don't wrinkle your nose. The way I make them, they're fabulous. Check this out. I really wish I could sing because I'd be singing that B-52 song right now about butter beans. That would make me happy. Alright, so this is a 1 pound package. It's sold around here as large lima beans. Sometimes, not often, but sometimes you will see them sold as butter beans. People in the South tend to say butter beans. People in the United Kingdom tend to say butter beans. Everybody else says lima beans. It's the same exact thing, okay? The other place where people get confused, they'll say a butter bean is the green ones. You can buy butter beans, and actually, they're really high quality. If you buy frozen lima beans and they're exactly this shape and size, but they're slightly green, that's where they have been picked and frozen. Lima beans, like this, the dried ones, it's the exact same bean, you just let them dry on the plant before you pick them. Okay, so this is a shell bean that you can also eat fresh. I hope that made sense. I hope I wasn't just blabbing. Alright, I put them on the plate just so I can show you this. They should all look like this. See how nice that is? The ones I was picking out, is that going to show up? Put it on that dark circle. See how those are kind of funky looking? That probably wouldn't hurt anything, but give yourself a minute. Give yourself a chance to kind of pick them over and pick out the ones that are not nice. Now, it used to be that you would pick over beans to make sure you didn't have any rocks or bits of gravel or, dried shell in there. You don't really have to do that part anymore. But with lima beans, those are going to be kind of funky colored after they're cooked, and you want them to all be pretty and nice and creamy. So give them a minute. Pick out the ones you don't like the looks of, and then throw them in your pot. Because these are dried, we are going to soak them overnight. Which means I'm just going to fill this with water, and I'm going to let it sit over here to the side and let it go overnight. I'll throw a top on it for no reason other than to make sure that nothing gets in there like dust or, in my house it's cat hair. There you go. We will rinse them tomorrow when we get ready to cook them. Now, if you've got frozen lima beans, you can skip all of this step. You can go straight to cooking them, and they really only take about half an hour. They're pretty much ready to go. But the dried ones, you really do. They need to soak, and then they need a long simmer tomorrow after we rinse them. But I'll come back and show you that when the time comes. I promise. All right, here's our butter beans the next day, and you can see they've absorbed a lot of the water, but not all of it. See? If they've absorbed all the water, you probably didn't use enough. But if you cover them, like I did, sorry, I'm one-handed and these are heavy. If you cover them like I did, shoot. Hold on a second, all I'm doing is draining these. Alright, there we go. Sometimes I can work one-handed and sometimes I just can't. Alright, so we drained them. And we're just giving them a good rinse. And they're going to go right back in the same pot. And we're going to cover them with water again. And this time we're going to cover them by about an inch. You don't want them like just swimming when they're done. But you want to make sure that they have plenty of water to cook in. Alright? So here we go. Right back in the same pot. Alright, for this first stage, I just put a nice cold water to about an inch. And for this first stage of cooking, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to give them some salt. So I'm going to give them a couple of teaspoons of kosher salt. And then I'm going to add this, which is hog jaw. It's smoked, and I just diced it up. I had some left over from actually, I had acres left over from New Year's because somebody brought me the biggest package I've ever seen. Alright, so I'm going to put this over a medium heat. We're going to bring it up to a boil, reduce it to a simmer, and I'm going to put the lid on it like this, right? So I want some of the liquid to be able to escape and evaporate while it's cooking, but I don't want to leave it completely uncovered. Okay, makes sense? I hope so. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, these got really foamy. Ha! That won't hurt anything. It just looks a little weird for now. Alright, so they came up to a boil, and I reduced it to a simmer. So if you can see the movement right there, that's all we're doing. And we're going to add just a couple things before we cover this part way and let it go. I'm putting in a couple teaspoons of garlic powder. I'm giving it about a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. I'm going to give it 1 bay leaf. And then I'm going to give it a good stir. Actually, I can't work my pepper mill one-handed, so I'm going to give it some black pepper, several cranks, a good bit actually. I love beans with black pepper. I think it's a great combination. So I'm going to give it several cranks of black pepper, and then I'm going to cover partway, and then this is just going to sit here for about an hour. Ugh. There we go. Boom. We're going to pretend I already put the pepper in there. Alright, we'll be back with this in about an hour. Alrighty, our butter beans have had about an hour and a half. It took about an hour and a half. They were not quite ready. So you can eat these exactly like they are, and they are delicious. I tasted it. I think it needs a little bit of salt, but you can serve those exactly how they are. They're perfect. But what I like to do almost turns this into an entire meal by itself. I'm going to add a few things to this and give it about another 20 minutes. So I'm adding 1 yellow onion that I diced pretty small. I'm adding a bell pepper. You can use any color you want. And then I have a couple of cups of diced tomatoes, and these are just heirloom cherry tomatoes. It's what I had. You don't have to freak out and do that if you don't want to. And you can, you know, like I said, you can leave them all out. I just love, this almost ends up being a stew by the time we're done. Alright, so I'm going to leave this over medium heat. I am going to adjust the salt and pepper just to round it out. And I'm going to give it right at 20 minutes just to cook those other vegetables and let all the flavors come together. That is going to be gorgeous. Alright, we gave it about 20 minutes. Not very long. Let me tell you, the fragrance is amazing. Alright, let's see how we did, guys. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. We took those beautiful butter beans and added all those luscious vegetables. Oh, wow. That is stupid good. That right there is how you cook a butter bean. Hey YouTube, thanks for watching, and if you thought that video was helpful, do me a huge favor. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get a notification whenever I post a new video. And if you have a second, hop on over to Patreon and check out how to support my channel even more. Again, thanks for watching.